Let me go ahead and set the intention. In order to take accountability for what has passed and what will be, there's no time like present. So, for all of those with mouths and ears, can we have a moment of your time? We want to gain some perspective. Can we have a piece of your mind? What's going on, gentlemen? Welcome back, beautiful people. Another week on the podcast, man. Yeah, man. And you know what? Heck, man, it's exciting, bro. It felt like 2024 came. We started taking a plan and putting something into place and starting to make a little move step by step, little by little, man. And it's a dope feeling, bro. You know? Yeah, building on.
I didn't tell you I wanted to save this for the podcast, but yo, I found myself in a creative spirit, if you will, and I told you I was working on this side project that has, every night I've been working on it for like the last week and a half, and I got it to a point where I'm getting ready to actually produce something next week, and so once it's produced and tangible, I will definitely show everybody. But on top of that, I wrote a story. I wrote another short story yesterday morning, bro. And it took me about an hour and a half or so to complete it, but I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's another one for the whole thing, bro. Like I've been in that mood, Frank. So like we've been up on here. I've been doing the story. I got the side project happening. Like there's a whole lot of moving pieces,
You know
bro,
what?
and
I
that
think we have
shit
to talk
feels
about a
good.
side project, bro. But you didn't. I don't think you told me it was your book you was working on, or a short story, man. That's dope, man.
Yeah. So that's that one too, man. So like, yeah, it's just I gotta get together, or rather get my shit together and go ahead and get on the computer to really get back into the fine editing of it, so that it's ready for a possible review for publication at some point. But yeah, man, it something reignited again, bro, and it hit me the other day, and I'm like I said, I got that story in, so I'm just feeling good about it, bro, because I've got like 3 different avenues happening all at the same time where my creativity is alive and well, bro, and this podcast is one of them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just good things, bro. Good, good things. I'm feeling good. So, and I'll say it all the time, man. It feels good to feel good, and I'm feeling good right now. Like I'm kind of proud of myself for have gotten back into that and using my time, to be productive, man. Not just pissing it away, like using it to do something that brings me a lot of peace and calm. So I
Yeah,
wanted to.
that's beautiful. Heck, you know what? Heck, man, I'm actually finding like, since I started this whole businessman journey and ventured out of the 9 to 5 to try to figure out things on my own, and it's rocky out here, man. But I love it
Yeah.
still, the freedom. Um, like I kind of find that like being a businessman is just simply like what you decided to do is just simply deciding and like making a choice in your head, like to decide to do something. Nobody's telling you to do it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It may not even be evidence to prove that like this is something that could work, but it's just something you want to do as part of your creative flow.
Yeah.
You want to see if you could test the market with it, like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I really like that, heck. And you know what? I honestly feel like all of the moves we've been making, bro, since we got started with Piece of Your Mind, since we connected with Brian, since we just started moving and taking action, bro. Like I feel like all of it is like us creating an energy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we create these scenarios where like I get to hit you up and I get to brainstorm with you. I get to sharpen still with Brian. You know what I mean? When I see Brian, I'll call Brian up. Brian, and same thing, vice versa. Brian get to sharpen a little still with me. You know what I mean? I feel
Yep.
like no matter whatever the topic or scenario is, right? If you get to talk about it out loud with somebody, the next time you talk about it, you can say it in fewer words. You can simplify it. You know what I mean? In fewer words, because the more you get to express it out loud, bro, the more keen you are to whatever it is you're trying to build in your head, be it a sentence or an idea. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I agree. I agree with that, man, for real.
Yeah, but
Like, yeah, man, we on the big and better, man. We doing stuff, bro, and it starts somewhere. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of happy that it feels like it's starting here on Piece of Your Mind, man. It feels like this has allowed us to kind of navigate in a way we wouldn't have been felt like we were allowed to navigate beforehand. And so, yeah, man, I'm just appreciating the energy, bro, for real. Like the energy is good, man. Every time I come up here, like I said, it's good energy. And so I'm able to take that with me and then be productive through the week and just handle shit, bro, you know? So it's kind of dope, man.
Yeah, you know, a little side note, man. I've been kind of enjoying the fact that we've been shooting on Thursday. Like, I mean, you know, I still would prefer to get to a daytime schedule, but you know, that's gonna happen when it happens, bro. We all gotta
Right,
find the
right.
time where it all match for us. But like, it just feels good to be days ahead because usually we shoot on Sunday and then we put that episode out by Monday. But like, yo, now we're put ourselves in a position, yo, where we could bounce around. Like if we miss Thursday, yeah, we got Sunday to pick up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
one of these weeks we could jump ahead. That'd be dope too. You know what I mean? But we get to
Yeah,
now it's three minds and we get to strategize things like that, man. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And every Thursday
Absolutely.
we link up, guys. We link up. Like I try to encourage everybody to do. Get yourself an accountability partner. It's the intangible things with everything. It's the intangible things that make the difference. Like anybody can come put your furniture together, man. But they ain't all gonna be friendly. They ain't all gonna be helpful and explaining what's going on. Like it's the intangible. So with an accountability partner, you get these intangible, like how can you say it? Intangible, invaluable things. Like you know what I'm saying? Just growing off of each other. So I really want to encourage somebody to get you some accountability partner, get you some accountability partner. So.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Um, I do want to kind of let last week spill in just a little bit, just a simple graze, because last week we spoke about addiction, and you guys gave me a good perspective to think on it, man. Like why is it that we always have to lose something before we appreciate it, kind of thing. That's tale as old as time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of just hoping that they fall into the hands of their loved ones, someone that's dealing with addiction. Um, but one of the thoughts that I kind of spoke on last week is sometimes, they, feeling trapped, feeling like they're stuck or they're making excuses or they're justifying their behavior and their actions. Um, I know that, one of the things that you have to be really good at is having patience for that because, everybody grows at a different rate. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to sprout up immediately, like, you go to high school and suddenly you gain 8 feet, of height when you were all but like 2 foot. So everybody sprouts at a different time, and so I know that with addiction, that healing comes differently for everybody, and not just the addict suffers. The family, the friends, they suffer too. Um, so this message, I'm hoping just for everybody out there that's listening. If you do know someone struggling with that, be patient, be loving, be that safe place, um, and find it within yourself to be that place for them, because sometimes they can't approach you because, like me, I'm pretty abrasive with it. Like if you come to me, we're looking for solutions. We're not going to do the complaining thing. We're doing solutions, and that might come off abrasive to someone that doesn't want that. They just need to vent, so just be what people need you to be in that moment, man. But never force them or force you for change. Change comes as it needs. And so kind of that full circle thing you were just saying, Frank, things happen as they need to. Let them happen. Um, and this podcast here has kind of allowed us to grow as we can. Every week we're doing something new. Our minds are opening up a little bit. There's a whole new lock being unlocked in there. And so the same for that addiction, man. Just if it's happening to you, to someone you love, patience and love, man, that'll definitely get you far in that road to recovery for that. So I just wanted to go ahead and spill that last thought on that, just to kind of close out, cap out our conversation last week from that.
Yeah, man, I kind of feel like you opened it back up now, man. 'Cause, some of that stuff I like. It's like I understand it, right? Hey, I
Mm,
understand what you're saying, and like I like to be open to people too. Like I know I talked a little bit on my uncle last week, and I mean, more recently I have opened back up to him. I give him a call. I talk to him. We just chop it up a little bit about whatever. You know, I had to learn. For me, I had to learn that, love could say no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Hell
didn't know
yeah.
how when it came to people I love, family or whatever. I didn't know how to tame my humbleness. So when they would ask, even though I didn't want to give, I would give. You know what I mean? That turned into this thing, a thing of avoidance. I started avoiding this guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. To me, it gets a little tricky because I do feel like you do have to have some kind of patience for these people. For the people going through it, you have to be there to some extent, but you can't. You have to also make sure you're not allowing them to walk all over you. But that's not the
Yep.
same as being avoided. That's not love.
Right.
You know what I mean? To
Right.
avoid is not to love. To love is sometimes standing there and be like, "Yo, bro, you don't need that shit, and I ain't got the money for you." Sometimes
Yeah.
that's love, and sometimes that's gonna make them walk away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Maybe
it's
sometimes
true.
that's gonna make them stand away. But yo, I do agree. Like your energy must be felt, and yo, I am here for you. You know what I mean? If you are a person who prefers, and this is your soul speaking now, if you're a person that prefers to teach a man to fish than to give a fish, then you don't give fish when you don't feel like giving fish, especially to someone who is capable. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Yeah.
look, man. When I went to go catch this fish, I had two arms and a stick and a string. I can give you a stick and a string. You look like you got two arms, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But people don't always want that. Like you said, they want a vent. They want something other than what you have to offer.
Yep.
Well, I love to call my loved ones and I chat with them. I'll talk with them. They live close by. I like to tell them, yeah, you know my strength. Give me a call if you need me. You know what I mean? Use me to my strength.
I like that. Oh
That
yeah.
conversely, I feel like I have to work on being able to say no more, and
Mm-hmm.
not giving when it puts me at a disadvantage, or when it inconveniences me. There's plenty of times that I could point at where you know I've done something for someone where I've literally gone out of my way. I might be traveling south. They need me to go north. And, instead of saying, hey, look, I really can't do that right now. I will try to make it work. And, a lot of times when you do stuff like that, you're putting undue stress on yourself, which, it really isn't fair to you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so that's something to be aware of. That's something I'm trying to make myself more aware of because, I still find times where, I don't say no. I'd be like, all right, you know, I got home late last night just doing people favors. I work in Milford. So I find myself driving up to North Haven or New Haven, then going to North Haven, then going back to West Haven. I'm like, oh, why am I doing all this? Like I got home, it's like 10 o'clock. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
All the extra running around.
I feel you
When
on
I
that,
could have
man. That's
simply just
that's
been like, hey, look, I'm gonna, pick up, drop off, and then go home. And I could have just left it there,
yeah.
Yeah. You know what, heck? You know what, B? Like, that is definitely something we have to take ourselves seriously, right? So anything you're going after, anything you're striving for, like say if fitness was your goal, right? And then somebody's calling you whatever, then it's pulling you away from fitness. It's taking 5 minutes from what you're trying to progress to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, now's not the time, man. You pulling me from my goals is as simple as that. Then you start to evaluate, like, okay, well, you can't shut everybody out like that, of course, right? There's people that are just important. Like, if something urgent come up with them, then it's urgent for you too. So it's not like I tell you, I'm not saying you got to control your humbleness to everybody, but you do have to save it for some people. You know what I mean? What you don't give,
True.
what you don't give that give away to that person, that 20, 30, 40 minute drive you took to go out your way. You know what I'm saying? You could have been spending 20, 40 minutes throwing the ball back and forth with your son. You know what I mean? And it's just a moment in time, but yo, it's all the moments that we remember. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the passing moments, yo.
You know,
You,
so
you
in
know
the past,
when he get older, his story gonna be yeah. When I was a kid, my daddy was always on the road. He was always doing a favor to somebody else. He ain't never paid me
yeah,
no attention. You know what
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
In the past few years, man, I've really learned that boundaries are one of the best things you could ever set. Um, you know, for yourself and for those people that like to grab and come in and take for themselves every now and then. Boundaries are important because you know that's like your safety net, man, and that's a line of self-respect. You know, hey, if you pass and cross this boundary, you're disrespecting me. So when you get hurt, that's not on me, that's on you. I made this line very clear. You took advantage of it. So learning how to say no is essentially establishing a boundary, um, and you are allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do that. And we all need to be better at doing that because sometimes, yeah, lots of us are are so empathetic that we are always feeling other people's downs. And you know what? If I'm in a position to help, I'm gonna help. But then I'm taking, like Frankie said, I'm taking time away from me. So suddenly it's 10 o'clock at night. I should have been home at 8. Yeah, I could have been reading a book to my son. I could have been talking about this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things that not in the moment you realize, but you do remember them later on when, yeah, that moment hits and that moment suddenly became a memory that's not so pleasant. And so establishing boundaries are very, very essential for all of us to be able to grow. And then they also help you from disabling enabling because someone that takes advantage of you will enable, or you can enable that behavior by just being, yes, 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 I can help. Saying no, you disable that shit, and then suddenly they've got to figure it out. So you're empowering them in a sense to go ahead and get their feet moving underneath themselves, you know. So yeah, man, saying no is powerful.
You know what's funny, B, is like it's a whole mindset. Sometimes you know what I mean. The person, like the person that's in that mindset, like they're looking for specific kind of help, and they know you can provide it. Right? You're not the first
Mm-hmm.
person they tried. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they was trying somebody until that person got tired and was like, I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Then they move on to the next. You know, I've learned I've learned when I start. I never thought of it the way Hector explained it, but I learned when I start to set boundaries. You know what I mean? People stop, like they didn't stop checking me, but they stopped checking me for that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then it's like I hear other people talking about how, oh, this person asked me for this week. This person like like, well, bro, why you ain't telling them? I told them no. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, I don't know, man. We definitely, yeah, we can't help others at our dispense. Like if we don't have it to give, then don't
Yep.
give. Like you know what I'm saying? If it's gonna be harmful to give, then don't give. Like you know what I mean? You have to give. We all have our strength. We are all unique, right? God gave us our strength, right? Individual strength, things we're just good at. It's just natural. It comes to us. You asked me to come put something together, Brian, Hector. What, you ain't even asking me to do work, bro. What you asking me to do? Hell yeah, I put it together, man. You gonna throw some steak on or something while I'm over?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I work for food, man.
Sir, I like that though. Yeah, I feel like that ever since I first heard you say that, Frank, like, you know, play to your strengths, man. Like I've heard that before, but you know, kind of like a conversation you and I had earlier today. You said something to me and then I said it back to you and it made you understand it differently. And I've heard, you know, play to your strengths before, but when you say it, bro, it's for real. Like, oh yeah, play to my strengths. What am I good at? You know, I'm good at being creative. I'm good at keeping conversation going. I'm good at connecting dots, you know, and full circle. Like I'm good at those things, and so I practice in those things now, daily, because you know I'm forever a student. You know, even if I'm the master, I still want to learn. And so I don't think that there's ever going to be a point in which I am fully mastered of myself. You know, because every day new scenarios could occur, and I will learn different things from that. If I as long as I stay open minded. So yeah, playing to my strengths, man. Like that's something that that should be taught to all of us, you know, early on, man, like especially at young children when we're impressionable mostly. I feel like, yo, being taught to be willing to explore and then, you know, play to your strengths. If you're good at something, well, keep doing it and get better. Um, you know, and I could be ice skating, that could be reading, that could be drawing, that could be doing jump rope, you know, whatever the hell it is, you know, you keep doing it, you're going to be amazing at it kind of shit, but not just physically, you know, emotionally and mentally, all those things, they add up to be who we are as adults. And, you know, when you show your true colors, man, that's, you know, like with Aiden, with my son, you know, I had a conversation with him recently, and he was kind of upset about something, and I told him, you know, you can't be upset. Who, like when we're playing, you know, he's like playing volleyball. Um, like who you are on the court is who you really are in real life. You know, because you're so focused on one task, you don't have time to think about anything else except the task, and you react as you naturally would in your natural state. So who you are on the court is who you are in life. So be a leader. If you're going to be out there, be a leader. Be strong. Be that person that people gravitate to, that they can rely on, so that you can take that from the court, bring it to your real life, and then you start to realize, like, yo, this is the version of me I want to be. You know, not just the person I want people to see, but the true me, to my core, to my actual nature. And so, yeah, playing, you know, teaching him, I'm teaching my son how to play to his strengths and kind of adapt to that and be willing to grow. And I'm doing that shit too. As I'm 36, man. I'm still doing that every day. I'm still learning how to do that for myself. But all this, man. Yeah, I agree with you, Frank. Play to your strengths, because that's probably where the best version of you exists. You know what I'm saying? It's right there in your own strengths.
Yeah, yo,
So,
when you start to fall away, and not to say you can't grow stronger in any other area, but when you start to play out of your strengths, things that don't naturally bring you joy, you know, anything that's not bringing you joy could be positively bringing you stress. Am I not correct?
yeah.
When you stress in their
For
life,
sure.
you know what, heck, man, touching on that, bro, I want to take a moment to get a little vulnerable, man, and I want to take a moment to get a little vulnerable. You know, matter of fact, even before I get vulnerable, because you know what, Hector, what we talked about now actually played right into a thought I had earlier, right? You know,
Mhm.
and it's about it's about watching our words. It's about watching our
Okay.
words, like being more mindful of the things we say. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because I really do believe it's what we say. It's not about what we think, right? It's about the words that come out of our mouth. It's about the actions that we show that came from the thoughts. You know, we're all human, bro. We have good thoughts and we have bad thoughts, man. But who we are only shows when we word it, when we show it. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So watch your mouth, man. Thoughts. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. Thoughts in between. Thoughts are nothing until you say them or take action. I want to touch on self-control, self-love, respect in both ways. Hell, maybe even a bit of enabling for those out of control individuals. I may even point out when we're being too egotistical, finding excuses to okay our wrongs. I was drunk, I was angry, and when we're being too humble. It's okay to be nice, but we will not let people walk all over us. Wrong is wrong. I will only tolerate I will only tolerate no more than one sorry on the matter, depending on the topic, situation, or scenario. And even that's being gracious. That's just having a little bit of self-respect for ourselves. That's just showing a little bit of self-respect for ourselves, not letting people walk all over us. Plus, with any more grace than that is enablement to a capable adult. So yo, for real, man, if a man have an arm to fish, like I got an arm to fish, bro. If I tell you, yo, come with me, I'll teach you how to fish. You get mad and walk away, then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you the best of me, man. You want my fish, bro? I was standing out there all day. You come stand with me. This fish was
That's
gonna feed
good.
me in my cage, man.
Right. Right. Mm, damn. Yeah, some of us live on that life for that fast track, man. You know, some of us, I'm not going to blame it on instant gratification, but some of us have been raised to believe that, you know, it's my money and I want it now, you know? Like, well, you got to earn that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's in line. You can't, ain't no cutting in line here, man. You can't do that. You gotta earn that shit.
Yeah.
And yo, that's a rare treat to find someone willing to teach you and show you the way they do it. Because you know how many people are so stingy with their recipes, bro?
Yeah.
Nobody want to give you the fucking the blueprint to success. No,
Right with
go.
it, man.
Yeah.
With them, man.
They really do be doing that. Like, yo, so when you find someone willing to share that, yo, open the hell up and take that, because that's rare, man. It's so rare. So yeah, somebody trying to teach me to fish. Oh, shit, let's go. Show me what's up. Show me the tricks. But that's not in everybody, unfortunately. You know, that's kind of like what we talked about last week a little bit with that whole the whole money thing. You know, Brian had brought up that point that the family they lived the lavish life. They were born into that shit, so they didn't have to really work hard to, you know, earn or maintain. You know, we had that conversation about wealth differences and inequality and all that shit. But like, the truth is yeah, some people just don't know how to work for it because they've been blessed, if you will, in other ways where they didn't have to. You know, whether someone enabled them and just kept giving to them, someone just, or they did just have it good and they just never had to work for it. Whatever it means. Oh, it's the scenarios are different for everybody, but yeah, you gotta work for yours, man. That is true.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know what
sometimes
happened? Oh, I'm sorry.
a
Go
gift
ahead,
could
Vic.
be a curse. I was gonna say sometimes a gift could be a curse. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because you know when you are given something, if you're born, you know, into an affluent situation, it's easy to take all that for granted, and that's why a lot of people have to learn the hard way. Like what they have, they should appreciate. You know, even like in academics, you know, uh, I'll use myself as an example. I used to hate doing homework, and I used to settle for B's instead of A's. Like I could go to school, I'll ace all the tests, answer all the questions right in school, and I knew the teachers would cut me a little slack, you know. So instead of
Yeah,
getting that
Brian,
A,
you
I
have the
get a
same
B.
strategy, but your grades should come out better than mine, okay?
Yeah, but like, you know, that's something that, you know, I took for granted. So when I eventually started taking more like challenging courses and stuff like that, you know, I had no choice but to actually work harder and like do the work, you know, at home, which was still a challenge for me. There were times where I would go to sleep and wake up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to finish the assignment. And I'm like, why am I putting all this extra pressure on myself? Like I could have done this, you know, they told us 3 weeks ago we had this assignment coming up. Now, you know, it's crunch time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
No.
breaking
That's
night
always
to
how
get this
Brian did the
done.
work, though, for real, man. I remember that. Yo, that Brian talking about college hector, that behavior like stemmed back from middle school, bro. I remember like
Yeah.
he'd be like somebody's science project partner, Lil Durant got his part to do. He would do it the night before the project is due, bro. Like the night, and still get like a B plus. I used to be in amazement, like still got a B plus. What? Don't they know he did this last night?
Right. Oh man. Yo, this is the conversation we had in our Thankful Thursday, man. That whole procrastination, man. Some of us do work better under pressure, but
Yeah,
like imagine if we took that pressure and actually used it as a means for preparation, and we really took our time and put, yo, yeah, we, like Brian said, man, you settle for B's, but if you took your time to do that, you would be getting A's and you would be very efficient because you would know how to do the groundwork, you know, without the scramble. Because I'm guilty of that too, man. I have definitely done that. I've, you know, oh shit, this assignment was told about, you know, three weeks ago, and here we are 3 days before it's due, and I'm working on it right now. Like it's like, so I've absolutely done that shit. And I have unfortunately come away with A's and B's, and so it's like, oh, I could do it again. I could get away with it. It's not a good
Yeah.
practice. I don't recommend it, but some of us can get away with that.
you can definitely get away with it now with these AI tools, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh, sheesh. Practically do the shit for you.
Like,
But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
It's time for class, bro. I'm gonna get this shit printed out, bro.
Right. All the teachers out there that do not give homework, I absolutely appreciate and love you. Because I go to work and I don't take work home. I don't take the stresses of work. I don't take the material. I don't no. Work stays at work. Home is for home. Unless you're an entrepreneur. That's a whole different story. But anyway, I don't like when teachers give homework because I know you don't have the curriculum is not necessarily catered to how you want to teach it. I know there's boards of education and principals and all sorts of shit getting in the way of that. But the children are at school for X amount of hours a day, and each class is allocated an X amount of time. So I feel like some of the study lessons need to be, considered. Yeah, hey, if the kid's not going to take this home, then maybe I need to go ahead and kind of reevaluate how I'm delivering it. So when a teacher doesn't give homework, that tells me that teacher really is thinking about it to that extent. All these kids are not going to take it the same way. So I got to make sure that the message gets across to them while they're here on this time and not having to take it home and then stress at home. Home is supposed to be for peace, right?
Say, bro, some of these kids, what they probably going through at home, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I
yeah.
remember high school back in our days, man. Like, again, I know this is a conversation we had a couple of times too, but I know my house was like compared to other people's households, my house was like a haven. Like, you know what I mean? Growing up where we came from, like, I used to be able to go home and find peace. I used to want to go home, but I had a whole bunch of friends who didn't care to be home. Like, they'd be up and out all night. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, Frank. Home is not always a good resource. Home doesn't always have a computer or parents willing to help. For some kids, home is hell. So you're gonna stick them at home with homework. They might not understand the material, but then they got to go to a place they're not super. Oh, that's crazy. That's a good topic right there to hit on, bro. For real. That's crazy.
You know what?
I'm not gonna sit here and say my home life was bad. It wasn't. I had a great home. I had loving grandparents. I lived with my grandparents. But y'all know, I grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like,
yeah.
All three of us was sleeping in the city. That shit was tough, man. So having company, having a place to be peaceful, to do like it wasn't in the cards, really. You know what I mean? Like that just wasn't.
Yeah, bro, we made it work, man. Because I used to want to go to your house every day
Right.
after school, bro. I remember, man. Like, what, bro? We about to go get some hot dog fries in the.
Yeah, we always ate. Yeah.
Anna Adam Sprite. Thank you, Anna, for the many years of Sprite, Anna. Okay, if you're listening in, I still love you. Some things still resonate with me to this day. Shit, we used to make it work, heck, man.
Yeah, we did, bro. We absolutely did, man. So
that was the beautiful thing about being a kid, though, right? You know what I mean? The beautiful thing about being a kid, bro, you can make anything work. You know what I mean? Like, you come from a background like Brian's saying, like people that come from riches or whatever, like, they may take it for granted, but at the same time, like those people created like opportunity, space, and things like that for these kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what, bro? When I get as big as I want to, bro, like I'm gonna have to start thinking about a system for the next generation, like so we don't create no lazy bums. Like, listen, you got to put in X amount of hours of work. You want this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You
right, my will, like, some things you got to hit some checklists before y'all get this money, okay? Or I'm gonna just give it out. I'm just throw it out, okay?
Yeah, it's like J.P. Morgan. His dad used to make him balance the checkbooks when he was a little kid. So, and now look, that's a bank.
Right?
Man, you gotta make sure you gotta earn this. It's not just a given, man. Now everybody got it like that.
Yeah, so he learned about finances early. I might adopt that principle. Hey, Keyshawn, come here. I want you to balance out my checkbook.
Hey, man, listen, if I could go
make a spreadsheet.
Bro, if I could go back in time and I had to pick a skill for my kids to learn, so it probably would be something down finances. You know what?
Finances.
You guys was talking about strengths and weaknesses. Um, and you know what? I want to take this moment to be a little vulnerable for real, because I've been in business now going on my fourth year. Going on my fourth year. And yes, I'm still out here. I'm still working. I'm still staying above water without working a 9 to 5, and that's beautiful. It's magical, man. I can't even imagine going back. I can't even. But during that time, I've been able to pull myself out of the debt I was in, and been able to operate a business. But here I am, finding myself in the same loop of when the same going through the same motions, about to fall back into debt. I'm nowhere near as where I was prior, but it's like I'm catching myself. Like, yo, it's the same thing happening again. So I say that because, like, yo, I have to know my strength and I have to know my weaknesses. Like, yo, I'm good at math, but it's hard for me to pay attention to money, like, because I've grown up with some kind of I don't know, you know what I mean, some kind of privilege or something. I don't know, but I didn't have it bad. We didn't grow up bad. You know what I mean? We They weren't just giving us the latest counsel, but we had ways to create opportunities to go work and make some money. Like, my dad was a carpenter. I used to go work with him, make my money, buy our own things, right? So we didn't have it bad, and I played with money for a long time. You know what I mean? And I feel like, as going into adulthood, like being vulnerable now, like going into adulthood, I just went from my parents spoiling love to Frankie spoiling love, and I know how to spoil myself very well, man. I don't know how to tell myself no, not well enough. You know what I mean? I don't. It's like I take money too lightly, and I'm realizing that it's not like, if something serious come up and I need to save for it, like, oh, I can save for that. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, yo, even if I know Walmart has cereal for $3.50, like, but Stop and Shop is up the road, I'm gonna just go buy the cereal from up the road. And I just like convenience like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I'm crossing this path now, and I'm just like, you know what? I've been hearing it from some of my favorite books. I've heard from Atomic Habits, about causing friction in between you and your bad behavior, mind and spending. So that it's harder to do. And you know what? And then I've also heard about, like, you have to accept other people's help. You have to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to let somebody in. You know what I mean? And yo, you know what, man? I've been dating this lady for just about as long as I've been in business. And this lady, man, she got her, as far as finances go, she got her stuff together, bro. She pays attention to everything, man. If the gas is freaking 5 cents down the road, then we going down the road. That's who she is, like, you know what I mean. And I'm at this point right now, man. Like, you know what? I'm about to just let her in, man. I gotta let her in on the business, man. You know what I mean? I gotta let her run the finance. I need somebody. I need a wall. I need a gatekeeper. I need a gatekeeper. Tell me no. You know what I mean? And the beautiful thing is, like, yo, when I told her, like, when I was asking my woman about, like, taking up this position, and it's still up for conversation. When I was asking her about it, her concern was, well, what happens if what happens when you get upset with me? You know what I mean? That was her concern. Like, what happens when you get upset with me? Like, because you know it's coming, bro. Like, when I tell you, she told me I can't get no coffee, bro, I was quietly mad, bro. You know what I'm saying? She see it, you know what I mean? But yo, at this point, like, you know what I mean? It's like, something actually I've been working on with her. Like, I've been catching myself when I know I'm out, when I'm getting mad, instead of showing it. Now I'm like catching myself and, like, reevaluating, like, yo, I don't need that right now. I'm thanking her later. Like, for real. Like, she sent me to work with, like, some fruits and stuff before, and I want to stop and get a donut. She told me no, bro. And I was over there mad. I ain't eat the fruit in the car or nothing, bro. I got there. I was like, man, this orange is kind of good.
I don't know why. As you were telling me that story, bro, I was thinking about that. There's lots of different references in media. You look at Jiminy Cricket, or you got the angel and the devil on your shoulders, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm imagining in my mind. Is that, like, you got Frankie over here saying, do that shit, go get that donut, You got your lady like, nah, you don't need that. Like,
oh, my angel and devil be on the same side. Be like, yeah, Frank, you should go get that donut, dog. I need
Just
my
thought
yeah,
lady
about
over there,
I just thought about Guilty Conscience, that the Eminem song.
Eminem and Dre. I
All
was thinking
right,
about that shit
great.
too.
For real.
Yeah, man. That,
bro.
that's the thing, bro. We do often battle with ourselves, man. But you had made a point. You were talking about on Brian. Brian's habit going into college. That probably stemmed from middle school. That's true. Like, that version of you didn't get told no enough to know that, okay, well, I can survive without it. So the adult version of you has kind of, in a way, I kind of want, but I feel like I need it too, and that's going to make me happy, so I'm going to go get it. So had you have been told no a little bit more, you tell yourself no a little bit more, you'll realize, like, I actually don't need that shit, because this orange is fire. Like, this is exactly what I need right here.
Nourishing for my soul,
Right.
Just trying to take care of me.
Yeah.
Money in my pocket.
Yeah.
You get over yourself later, bro. You let people live, man.
You get better for sure, bro. Like, we are allowed to obviously we have to carry ourselves far, but we are allowed to carry ourselves as far as we can. But asking for a little help, for a little guidance, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we get better. We have that mindset for growth, and sometimes that comes with, setting the ego aside and saying, yeah, you know what, that person is better at that than me. Let me watch them, or let them guide me. And then you learn from that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You got to be open-minded to that shit, because that's where growth happens. You know what I'm saying? When you're too selfish, man, you're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. Yeah. So I like that, Frank. That's dope, man. Because I'll be the first to tell you, man. Like, I've always been pretty good with my finances, but I have not always been good with other things. Like, I used to not trust anybody. Like, I didn't give a fuck who you were. I didn't trust anybody. Like, it didn't matter. My lady helped me open up and be a little bit more receiving of energy. Because, if I could sense anything was off with the energy, I was shutting it down. There was no connection at all. I would not establish it. But she has helped me to kind of be more willing to let some people in. And oddly enough, I have taught her to kind of keep some people away. And it's been a really cool balance letting my lady in like that, because I have grown from it, and I'm watching myself grow, and alongside her as she's growing too. And that's a beautiful thing, bro. So, like, I'm teaching her different things with finances, and we're budgeting, and we're, making plans and shit. She's teaching me more how to be receiving of energy and people's, their personalities and shit. Like, there's some give and some take in the relationship. And so that you found a partner, that can give you that for the rest of your life, bro. You gotta dig in, bro. You gotta go in with that, like, and let that be. Cause Frank, yeah, dog. Yep. You know what it is. Put a ring on that shit, man, for real. You gotta lock that shit down, and yeah, man, let yourself grow. Let her grow with you. Like, king and a queen, man. King and a queen make the kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not one or the other. It's together. That partnership is powerful, man.
But, I know you had like a whole segment you wanted to go into, bro. But I just wanted to pause just for a second, because the story you're telling, right? I'm guessing, like, this has to be a version of Hector that, like, I wasn't a part of that part of his life for a month, really, like, you know what I mean? And I really do feel like, we're here for each other for a reason and a season. You get what I'm saying? You know how they say people are here for a reason or a season? I think it's in. Because some people come back. Sometimes you have to spread your wings. Man, I have so many friends, like, me, Darren, and Family, bro. We was a trio, bro. Me, Darren, and Sean was the trio before that. We used to be on it playing Smash, man. You know what I mean? And heck, Sean was going through whatever he was going through at the time. Me and D was there just gaming. Like, Sean used to come through. He used to hang with us, bro. Then things happened. You went and got married. Did any love lost? No. I still consider the dude my best friend, bro. Darren's still my best friend. We had another friend, Family. Family disappeared, up and disappeared. But ain't no love lost. It's just
Right.
he felt for whatever reason his season was over with us. You know what I mean? Maybe there'll
Mm.
be another reason to get back together later. You know what I mean? And just let the love that transgress, during the time that we did spend together, be the thing that keep us communicating. Like, it don't got to be no
Mm.
love lost because we're not communicating no more. Like, people be so stuck on the time that in between time that was lost. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But yo, heck, I don't recall you being a person like that, heck, man. You know what, man? I actually always find you to be kind of a magnet, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know what, man? Growing up around freaking Monroe Street, around PT, around that neighborhood, bro, it wasn't that bad. Like, yo, we found a good little crew, bro. I remember
Yeah, we did.
linking up with, like, me and Deion Wilkinson was tight because of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he was another one. Like, yeah, we found some really good people to hang around. I remember Rodney. We
Yep.
used to hang around Rodney all the time, and it was like these people were attracted to you, Hector. You know what I'm saying? You were
Damn,
you
that's
were you
cool.
were like the glue, right?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I Yo, that was, yeah, that was the best part of my childhood, man, was having lots of different friends. Like, yo, you know how cool, like, it being in school, man. I remember like being a freshman in high school, and it was hunting for people, for freshman Friday. They gotta dunk your ass, they gotta jump you or something. And I remember being friends with Rodney, and he was like, "Yo, don't touch him." And everybody's like, "Cool, he's off limits." I was like, "Oh, that's dope!" Like I get to in because one of my homies is a senior. Like, whoa, that that shit was cool. But like, yeah, man, there were parts of my life, and that was more in my adulthood, my early 20s, where I became disconnected. I had to kind of protect me, so I disconnected from everything, bro. Family, friends, like I I was just in a place where I was not okay. I was in a dark place, and so slowly getting myself out of that mess. I met my lady, and then yeah, I feel like I'm back. I'm back to being who I was. And that shit feels good. I don't want to get rid of that. So like kind of like what you were saying earlier, man. You kind of your limits. Those things that aren't good for you, and I kind of know what those are now. So I'm not gonna let myself fall back into that to
Yeah.
that issue no more. But yeah, as you were saying earlier, the topic I wanted to talk about, and I was hoping that Brian would pick the topic because the last couple of weeks, man, we've had some heavy topics, y'all. But I was hoping to kind of go into something a little lighter. Um, and the topics were, being a kid in the '90s, how we grew up then versus how kids are growing up today. Or when's the last time you actually played on the playground? I'm talking like got on the monkey bars. You went down the slides, it's your big ass squeezing through that little tiny ass slide. And like, when's the last time y'all did that? So I'm hoping, Brian, you would be willing to pick one for us, bro. Lead it off, and then let's go with it.
Yeah, let's do growing up as '90s kids. We're all
Okay.
'90s
Oh
kids.
hell
That's
yeah.
something that resonates with all of us. And
Right.
yeah, I know that'll be a fun conversation. So let's
Let's do it, man.
start with
Yeah.
that.
So so what would you say, like growing up as a '90s kids versus kids? Because you've got a son, you've got
Mhm.
nephews. What's the biggest difference? What have you seen that's like you wish you had that, or you are glad that you don't, kind of shit? Like, what's the difference between then and now, yo?
Well, one of the things I always say is that I'm happy to be a millennial.
Yeah.
I feel like we were able to experience a lot of what our prior generations experienced, but still be able to benefit from like a lot of the advances of technology that happened over the past few decades. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so it gives us the ability to still have technical know-how. We can do things with our hands. We're crafty, we're resourceful, but we're also tech savvy. Um, like we're learning how to utilize AI and stuff like that. You know, um,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a little lopsided for the kids of the current generation. A lot of them without their smartphone, they're lost. Even with their smartphone, they're lost half the time. So,
Word.
I feel like in a way, it puts them at a bit of a disadvantage. I remember, not too long ago, I was at the gas station, and there was a girl. I guess she was a new driver. She was there, pumping gas, and I had the gas basically pumping itself. It has like the little
Yep.
thing, you flip it, and
Little latch key
and
kind
so
of thing.
yeah. So I'm just sitting there, letting it pump, and she's like, "How you do that?" I'm like, "Do what?" She's like, "Yo, how you make it pump itself like that?" So I was like,
man.
let me show you. So
Yeah.
I gave her a quick little tutorial on how. So I was like, so now once it gets colder, you can sit in your car and let it pump. You're good.
Right. Yo, you just taught a woman how to fish.
Yeah.
For real, B. You know, B. Once I learned that trick, bro, if the gas station ain't had that little tab to hold the thing, I ain't pumping gas in. Like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? I don't know the standard of 2024.
I ain't
Like,
standing
what?
out here in the
Oh
cold.
man.
Y'all standing out here in the cold?
Yeah, that's like
that's cool, man.
yeah, that's like one of those little things, you know what I'm saying? And it's just all types of stuff, changing tires, just there's like always like all these little simple things, or what I would perceive to be simple, you know, because I grew up in the '90s. Me and Frankie, we watched our dad. It seemed like he could fix anything.
Bro, he was MacGyver. What was his name? MacGyver? The Guyver? That's who he was to me, man.
MacGyver.
I really felt like I could break a bone and this dude could fix it or something, man. For real, man.
That was cool. Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. That is very different. I feel like they are kind of disabled. I was telling Frankie earlier, we grew up in the golden era for lots of reasons, and that little example right there is one of them, bro. I would have never thought no one knew how to do that like that. And so if the gal watching or the gal that you had that conversation with ever manages to watch this, I was not laughing at you. Okay, that's just it's so interesting to me that like I thought it was like common knowledge. Everybody knows how to do this, but it really isn't. So that's wild, man. So Frank, you got two young men, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you got a young nephew, and Lynn has a daughter. So for you, you got all sorts of different walks of life happening, for scope and the differences with how you grew up and how they're growing up. So what do you see that's kind of beneficial, not so beneficial, what's different?
It's definitely all right, well, you know what, let me just go ahead and start it off like this. Like, I see something in common, okay? Right?
Okay.
With the 90s and now. And that is back in the 90s, you ain't have to go look for your kids after 7 o'clock. Because we knew once the street lights came on, it was time to be in the house, okay? It was the dash and dark. And these kids, most of them, you don't have to look for them after 7 o'clock, but they ain't never left the house, you know what I'm saying? They've been sitting in front of that air conditioner while you out sweating and working hard, you know what I'm saying? Bringing home the bacon and they eating it all. That's how it goes now, man.
You don't even need that commercial. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Where your children are?
In the same spot.
He ain't never left home, damn it.
Right. You gonna buy him the iPhone just so you can ping them, and then they turn off the location on you.
Right.
I'm in my bedroom. I'm always at. What's the problem?
Yeah. No, that's true. Yo, the street light, that was the gold. That was like a rule, man. That was one of the street rules, man. Lights come on, you get your ass home. That's it.
You see, like, getting dark outside and the street lights come on. Oh, we gotta make it back. We got like 5 minutes to get inside the house.
Exactly.
You know what, Hector, bro? One of the biggest things is, bro, we used to love physical play, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be able to go meet a stranger at the freaking McDonald's play area and just start playing tag with everybody in there. Yep. Like, we don't even know your name, but you it, dog.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it. I got you. Okay?
But hey, what's your? Yeah, you. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, now it's like I don't know, social gatherings are, you know, I guess for young people can be a little awkward.
Yeah.
And I mean, yo, the playground. Like you said, the playground, bro. Playground, same thing, bro. You could go to the playground, meet a bunch of strangers, and play. Like even here in Bridgeport, where they try to demonize, you know, what I mean? Bridgeport wasn't so bad. I made it through this far, you know what I mean? And growing up, like my kids in their day and age, I guess it was kind of cool because in their day and age, it was kind of like when parks was starting to die down. So we would get there, and some days it wouldn't be nobody else at the park. So, you know, hell yeah, I'm a little guy, man. Hell yeah, I was going down the swing with my kids. You know what I mean? I remember jumping on the swing, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I mean, and I guess honestly, to this day, even like if we actually bring my daughter like to like parks, bro. We just be going around freaking Connecticut, bro. Like we don't even we be in Milford, New Haven, like just checking out parks. And if they're like, yo, again, I don't want to seem strange. So if there's a lot of kids there, then I don't play. But if it's like just me and my
Oh
daughter,
man.
yo, we play, yo. You know what I'm
Fuck
saying?
that.
A little bit.
I get in there, bro. Move these
Yeah.
little kids out the way. It's my turn to get out the slide. Damn it, move. Yo, we be getting in there, bro. We do the same thing, Frank. Yeah, we do the same thing. We drive around. We hit spots. Kate's really good for that, bro. She is the best, man. A kid at heart, bro. Always down to play. And like me too. Like, but I just felt like, oh, I got bigger, so now I can't play. Like, nah, man. I'm a big ass kid too. I gotta go prepare and make the bacon for the kids to eat. But you know what? I'm still gonna fucking get some too, damn it. Like I'm out here doing what I do.
Man.
Yeah. Word.
You had it long enough now.
Yeah,
Yo,
physical play is definitely something that, that's somewhat missing, It's not as prevalent, back when we were kids. It was all about, getting that energy out and, creative play. We would play games like tag, city chase, hot potato, freeze tag, Simon Says, red light, green light,
Bro,
hide and seek.
Right, bro. If a young person listening to you right now, they be like, yo, you probably heard like two of those, and the rest of them like, yo, what are they talking?
What are they? Yeah, what are those? Yep.
You know,
like red light, green light. Like talking about that game from Squid Game.
Oh yeah, right. They're gonna really actually think it's this whole new thing. Like, nah, man, that's been around. I was there when it was written, man. Get out of here.
Change the words a little bit, think it's y'all. Okay, get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo,
not new under the sun.
I agree with both y'all, man. Like, there's a lot in common, but the biggest difference is that physical, bro. That they're home. That's where they at. They're not out there. They're not out there making friendships with whomever, whatever. It feels like it has to be planned. Like this. The idea to play with someone else has to be orchestrated. Like it can't just naturally occur. Like, and it's so weird to me, man, because we go outside. Like,
I don't even think that's just the kids, though. You know what I mean? I think that's partially the parents too. A lot of the parents, like, like, oh, watch your kids and stay away from like, heck, I used to, I'm going over at the house. All right, just come back at, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They had the direct. We didn't have cell phones there, so they had Hector's grandmother's number. Hector's grandmother had our number. Like, if you want to, Hector made it over there. Yeah, Hector over there. All right, cool. Everything blessed.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's enough. So, you know what, Brett? B, and one thing back to what you were saying too, B. You were saying that we know we're the golden generation, right? And I honestly don't feel like this is nothing new. At some point, the next generation is going to be the golden generation because we're going to be the old heads. For real. Not like the way they're calling us. Because I really
they're going to be the ones bridging the gap. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to be the one bridging the gap. Now is our time. I kind of think that's what J. Cole was talking about when he said when he was talking about middle child. You know what I'm saying? It's the time. This is the era. Like, we understand them. We understand them. Like, you know what I mean? It's the time. It's our time.
I agree with that, Frank. That's where we at, bro.
You know what? Can I take this a little right? I know we usually go left, but can I take it a little right? So, another difference between this era and last year, our era, is now let's talk about the kids that are doing good, right? Because all we had to look up to for real were like, you had to be on Disney, you had to be on Nickelodeon, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you had to be like Macaulay Culkin. Those were like our childhood stars, like, you know what I'm saying? But our kids, bro, are finding other kids that are YouTubing, these little amazing people, bro. You know how hard it is for people to get grown people to start streaming? You know what I'm saying? You know how hard it was for me to get started on a podcast just to talk? These little people up here doing cartwheels and they got all the tricks. I'm starting to feel. I feel like there's a lot more. I know in these generations they're calling the alpha gen, and I'm watching all these commercials with these kids tumbling and backflipping and parkour and swinging from bars and stuff like that. And I think that's a beautiful thing, bro. The opportunities, the things they do have out there for kids to do. It's all about the parents, of course, getting them to actually get up and know these different things and keeping them busy. You know what I'm saying? I do also feel like kids that they say have ADHD, they're just blessed with energy. Put them in time, give them some things to do. You know what I'm saying? Give them some things to do. They still hyper, give them more things to do. Okay?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But I want to going right with it a little bit. I want to say like the kids that are able to find some success or are capable of I don't know, not falling into so much of the societal norms. Like there's more extraordinary kids out there than there were like back in our time. Or there's more extraordinary kids being seen, should I say? You know what I mean? Y'all remember that little boy that was like diesel as hell when he was like 7 or 8? You know what I mean? His dad was like working him out or something like that. Like there's a lot of them kids now, bro. There's a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Not that one little star no more, man.
Yeah, the bridge is there, man. We just got to maintain it. I think that's the biggest thing is being adults now. With the wealth of knowledge we were able to get as children, knowing what our parents went through, knowing how they passed the times, and then having to be resourceful for ourselves. And then now raising children, like we are that bridge, and we do definitely need to maintain that, and help teach the next set of kids coming along how to be the builders, because the bridge doesn't have to stop where it's at. You know what I'm saying? The bridge can keep going. It can be built longer, more sturdy. And so that's I feel like that really is our job, man, because we were kind of blessed to have grown up when we did, bro. We know how to operate an iPhone. We know how to operate an Android, Mac, PC. Shit, I just built my own PC. You know what I'm saying? Like I had YouTube as my resource. I had the internet that really helped me out. I knew how to navigate. I knew exactly what I needed. And then I get to have all these different, these different insights and this different knowledge to be able to kind of operate in a way that's going to be helpful to whatever I'm doing or whatever someone else is doing. So I think, that our job is to be, kind of maintenance men, if you will, and keep that bridge healthy so that when these kids grow up, they can do it for us, for their children, kind of shit, because it's coming, So,
man, down the line, man. I ain't got no problem with that, man. You talking my love language already, man.
Yeah. For now, we're that we're that bridge. We gotta teach our elders how to how to navigate their way through a smartphone. We gotta teach the kids,
how to pump gas.
How to pump gas. Exactly.
Listen, dude, man. Listen, y'all got it wrong. Bro. I don't want to do all that. I'm trying to get the young people to talk to the old people because they know how to. Young people don't know how to change no tires, but they know some technology, yo. Can you help your grandmother with that phone? Okay?
Yeah,
you know how to do it faster than me, okay?
For real. Your grandma needs help setting up the Wi-Fi.
For real.
I don't want to do it. You do it. You teach her.
Right. Put them to work,
Word.
man. Yo, go pump my
That's-
gas, man. You got all these
Word.
amenities. You sitting in the house playing air with the air conditioner. Go pump my gas, kid. Yeah.
So we hit that hour mark already, and that conversation, bro, went quick. There was a lot more I want to have that conversation, so I think
Yeah,
we'll
we
pick
could
that
probably
up
carry
next week
this.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's just so much more to be said, man. So many more points to be made, and so many different things to kind of connect with that. One of the big ones was again, making sure you all out there, all our viewers, our PCMI family, you guys know what I do, what I'm into. You guys know what Frankie's doing with his life. So we intended it for this episode, but stay tuned because next episode we'll make sure you guys get to know Brian a little better. And that's the whole point of the dialogue we're going into. We want that face down there to be more loved and more received, if you will. Because that's again, I grew up with Frankie, from second grade, and it was very shortly after I met Brian. So this is the trio right here. This was the trio for many of our years growing up. And so yeah, we all got to let y'all out there know who that man down there is. So that's coming in the next episode. But I did want to push the Mid-Journey thing again because that's just what we do, y'all.
Let's do it.
And I saw something online that was cool, man, and it made me think like, yo, that's kind of the way it should be, like we have a national anthem. Well, the anthem is designed to encompass all of us, right? It's supposed to cover us all. And so like when we think about like different history, like, yeah, I love the idea of being able to view Hispanic heritage and Black history and this and that, whatever. Like I like learning all of that. But at the end of the day, it is all American history. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily just one or the other. So I had Mid-Journey do something out of something I saw here, and I thought, yo, this is dope, man. Happy American History Month, man, because like we are all American. Here in America, we're Americans, right?
Yeah.
And so why not be
I
that?
actually really like that concept, heck, because you know what? It's so crazy because like so many people are fighting for like this, like I don't know, some kind of individuality, but like yo, it's all the individuals put together that make up America. Like you know what I mean? It's all the diversity is this mixing pot. Like we have at this point we have people that were born here that are all mixed up, and we got people that's still coming from other countries to come here, and it's mixing it up more. So like it just is what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we fight about like the past a lot, what went on, and we hold on to those things, and still seek reparations and stuff like that. And I understand fights are necessary. Some fights have to be made for whatever reason, but like I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like we could just move forward and just start recognizing each other and loving each other as we are here today. You know what I mean? We might be able to make some more amazing strides, man. There's a lot of concerns going on in the world. You know what I mean? There's they've been talking about the United States not being number one or the best place to live for years, like since I was a kid, like you know what I mean? And now it's like evidence to show that, like, this is not, it's not it. You know what I mean? So it's like, we spend so much time fighting amongst ourselves, and it's always something new to fight for, bro. They got so many movements out there. Go get a flag for this, represent that, like so many things to fight for. But like, when can we like really all come as one for real? Like,
Right.
When can we make that happen?
I long for that day, bro. I really do. I really long for that day, man. And I'm the optimist in me hopes to be able to see that in this lifetime. The pessimist knows I probably won't, but I can go ahead and make the steps necessary, for my children to have that mindset so that they have more time than I do to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So if we all move forward with that mindset, bro, then by the time their grandkids come around, we could be as one. You know what I'm saying? We could be back to being powerful, and not powerful just rich and wealthy. Like, no, powerful in the sense that we have a bigger understanding of our brother, of our neighbor, of our sister, a better understanding of self, for not just where we are, but for the sake of the global community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we only got one fucking Earth, and we're over here fighting over it all the time. Like, shit's wild to me, man. But yo, yeah, if we teach our kids how to move forward with love and forgiveness and understanding, then yeah, when they grandkids come around, man, shit might be different, and that'd be dope.
That would be, bro.
I'm hoping for it. But yeah,
Yeah,
man. So
this actually, looking at this, it does it makes me somewhat proud, because although we do have a long way to go, I feel like we've come a long way, right? Like this picture, it makes me think of the civil rights movement, which was like 60 something years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
not that long ago.
A lot of
Yeah.
us have grandparents that grew up in that era that experienced segregation, and
Yep.
now they can look and see, like, integration everywhere, like, their grandchildren and their great grandchildren, they're able to go to schools and share those same fountains and use the same books that all the other kids are using, and it's not separate but equal, even though it was separate and definitely not equal, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
like, although there are always conversations to be had, there's rights to be fought for. It's good to acknowledge where we've gone so far, and that could inspire hope that we will eventually reach that point where we are a unified country, where we're all equals and we're all together. So I mean, that's my thought towards that. And I like this, like, Black history is American history. There's
Yes,
so
sir.
many, like, there's so many inventors and innovators that came up in this country, that even though they didn't have the same rights or the same privileges, they were still able to contribute to the nation. Inventions such as gas masks and traffic lights, air conditioning. Like, there's so many things that contributed to where we are now. The filaments and light bulbs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's a good image, man. It's a powerful image.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So y'all know me, man. Trying to make it all tie together, man. That's the whole thing, I'm not tying knots over here. I'm just making connections, and so I thought it was worthy enough to share, man. And I loved it too. You're right, Brian. Black history is American history, and as long as we acknowledge, yeah, there were times where it wasn't fair. There were times where it was fucking downright cruel. But being willing to admit that means that you're also understanding of what it is to be accountable, and being accountable is how you get better. So that's what we do up here, man. We are all about accountability. Frankie says it all the time, y'all. Go get you an accountability partner. If you ain't got one, you got 3 right here, okay? So just come chill with us every week and shit. You'll get right. Promise you that. But yo, if y'all got other thoughts, man, or if you think we're good for it,
Bro. Yeah,
yeah,
man, you want to go another 2 hours, bro? I'm good for that too, man.
yo, we get right.
I'm starting with a good time,
Shit.
man.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's up to y'all. We could end this one and go and jump right back into part 2 of it, or pick it up later, is whatever.
All right, let's go ahead and start with ending with this one, man. Let's do that.
Yeah. So,
Shut us
well,
up.
like I said, y'all stay tuned. Part 2. We wanted to kind of dig deeper a little bit on that and get y'all to know Brian a little better. So that's coming so very, very soon. But conversation, fellas, was lovely, man. Some excellent ideas, perspectives, and opinions you guys shared with me today. So I appreciate that. And for all those who came through and let us borrow some time, we'll see you next week on Peace of Your Mind. Much love, y'all.